Hi, I'm Maura4u, and I'm also known as Maura4u, the ultimate advocate for you and your life. Do you ever ask yourself, how in the world did I get here in life? What am I doing and what is this crazy house I've been living in? Well, if you have arrived at the right place. I have been one of those people that spent a lifetime, decades, watching life, observing life, and especially watching and observing people. Now, my mindset is slightly different. My mindset has always been, there is a better form of living. There is a higher lifestyle to be attained, one that is designed without a lot of stress and without a lot of strife. So if you've been one of those people that has thought that way, I invite you to come and explore a little bit more and find yourself living at a higher level of life as well. But before you even decide, gee, should I listen to this woman or not, let me give you two short stories. All of us have to grow up somewhere, and all of us grow up in an environment that has its own intrinsic value system, patterns, etc. Well, by the time we graduated from high school, there were a number of people that had given speeches. Mine happened to be selected as the graduation speech. I called mine From Dreams to Reality. And the reason why was that I was so moved by all of the people, or many, in my class, that somehow believed that high school graduation marked the end of the high point in their lives. And after that, they figured, okay, everything is just going to fall into place. I will live, for example, just like everybody before me lived. Now, in my mind, I didn't see high school graduation as the end. I saw it more as a new beginning. Hence, the title for my speech, which was From Dreams to Reality. But let me give you more than that. I do what I do here because I have spent a lifetime thinking differently. I realize that all of us have our own responsibilities in life to take stock of where we are, of who we are, of how we think, and therefore we can really create the environment in which we live, especially as it involves our own sense of peace. Now, let me give you one other story. A few years ago, my family and I took an extended trip to the Balkans as well as to Italy. And my daughter and I were in the Adriatic Sea, right alongside the cliffs of Dubrovnik in Croatia. We just got off this great boat ride, and I was just loving the water. And as I stood on the sand outside of the water, immediately in front of me, there appeared a gigantic, I would say epic-sized microphone. It was so large that it scaled the whole length from the sand where I was all the way up to the top of the cliffs where the city of Dubrovnik was above me. And this gigantic microphone appeared, and I heard this question: what would you do if you had a gigantic microphone? And the answer came to me as quickly as the question did. I would report good news. And specifically that day, as I was experiencing that odd moment in time, I found myself reporting on a story between a white man and a black man. Now, generally, a lot of people, when they report news, report on strife. They report on differences. They report on who's in and who's out and who's up and who's being taken advantage of. But my particular story was to report on how these two men worked together as brothers and did something that was so extraordinary that everyone that heard the news was happy about it. I do what I do as Maura4u because I can't help myself. When I was in corporate America for a decade, not only was I in sales management, but the biggest and best thing of what I did was to influence people to think better and to think higher and to think in ways that are constructive rather than destructive, in ways that are collaborative rather than divisive. So here I am many years later. I can tell you that if someone were to try to chop me up in a number of pieces, they would still find the same personality, Maura4u. I am always here to report on good news and to share with you really elements of your mind that maybe you haven't given place to, maybe some thoughts that sort of trip you up, maybe some areas of your life that you never gave attention to, but once you do, you find out that it frees you to think in new and different ways. So I would say, if you are interested in this kind of methodology, this kind of conversation, especially when a lot of times my stories involve my life, you can find me at Maura4u.com, my website where I post regularly. If you happen to be one of those people that likes videos, you can go directly to YouTube and look up Maura4u on YouTube, and I probably have a few hundred videos. But in addition to that, if you really do enjoy introspection, if you like a little bit of reflection at a deeper level, I would also invite you to go to Amazon, where I have a brand new series of ebooks entitled The Art of Happiness. Now, you'll always find me Maura4u, and one thing you will find as the underlying message that undergirds everything is I am always for you, because I always see the goodness, the peace, and the great and high way of life available to you. So this has been Maura with Maura4u, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.